Danganronpa.
I present to you all Haircut, a very, very bad Danganronpa fanfiction.
Shuichi,
Miu called out.
truth or dare?
Dare, I said.
I dare you to take off that dumb hat of yours for the rest of the game.
She said. Do I have to, I asked. It wasn't necessarily a hard dare, but it still felt like it was to me. I always wore my hat, and when I didn't, I just didn't feel right. You could even call it somewhat of a security blanket. I used it as means to avoid looking people in the eyes, and despite the fact my hair's getting a little too long for my likings. But knowing Miu wouldn't take no for an answer, I knew I would just have to suck it up and do it. I sighed, muttered a fine, and took my hat off.
Well, Saihara-chan,
Kokichi said as he stared.
your hair has gotten long.
It has? I questioned, trying to pretend like I didn't know. I hadn't noticed.
Hey,
He replied.
you should know better than to lie to me.
It then hit me. What was I thinking? I should have known trying to lie to one of the biggest liars of all time wouldn't be a good idea. I started to get lost in thought when Kokichi brought me back to reality.
Hey, I have an idea.
Kokichi stated.
What if I cut your hair for you?
You know how to cut hair? I questioned.
Well, I've never tried it before, but I've always wanted to.
Kokichi exclaimed.
Seems fun!
It's times like these that I wonder if Kokichi is actually a human or just an alien pretending to be one. On what planet do you ask someone to do something for you you have no experience with and expect them to say yes? Because I don't think it's Earth. I don't know, I said. I don't really think it's a good idea.
Oh, come on!
Kokichi begged.
Please?
He looked at me with puppy dog eyes. The kind of puppy dog eyes that can make even a request as crazy as his hard to say no to. Well, I guess if you really want to. Before I even got the chance to finish, he grabbed me by the wrist and started dragging me upstairs to a bathroom. When he finally let me go, he ran off to set up a chair. I never said yes, I said.
But you were going to, weren't you?
He said, pausing what he was doing. I was gonna say I'd consider it, I admitted.
So it's not a no.
He said.
Besides, we're already here. What's the worst that could happen?
Knowing you, I could think of a few things, I muttered.
Hey!
He said.
That's just plain mean, Saihara-chan.
Maybe he was right. Maybe I was being mean. But this whole situation just didn't really feel like a good idea. But at the same time, I knew it'd be no use trying to argue with Kokichi. So my options were either argue with him all day or get my hair cut by someone with no experience. I didn't like either option, but I hated my second option a little less. I sat in the chair he sat at. He seemed surprised.
Huh?
He questioned.
You're really gonna let me cut it?
You seem like you really want to, I muttered, and I don't want to argue with you. He seemed really excited, much more so than before. It scared me a little. He tossed a towel over my shoulders and started brushing my hair. I didn't want to believe this was happening, so I tried not to think about it. That's when I heard the first snap of my hair be cut. It scared me. I always got a little anxious getting my hair cut, but this was a whole new level of anxiety. I looked up into the mirror and saw Kokichi. He seemed focused, really focused. Maybe I'm underestimating him. Maybe he really can do it. Not even a minute later, I heard Snip followed by him muttering the words,
Oh, fuck.
"What?" I questioned.
Oh, nothing.
He said. "No, you did something," I said. "You don't just say stuff like that for no reason."
Really, it's no big deal.
He said.
I can fix it.
"Fix what?" I said.
It's no big deal.
He said. "But what did you do?" I questioned. Him lying was nothing new. Him lying while cutting my hair, however, was. And I didn't like it one bit.
Really, you don't need to worry about it.
He said. "Well, I am worrying," I said, "because you won't tell me what you did."
Come on, don't you trust me?
Kokichi asked. "No. The answer is no." But for whatever reason, I couldn't just tell him that straight to his face. "Not right now, I don't," I said. He seemed a little upset by that.
But you do trust me enough to let me try and fix it, right?
He asked. I didn't really, but at the same time, it seemed like it meant a lot to him. And again, it's Kokichi. He's not easy to argue with. "Fine," I sighed, and with that, he went back to doing whatever it is he's doing to the back of my head. At this point, I'm not even sure if I know or if I want to. A little while later, I heard a few more snips, followed by Kokichi muttering a chain of curses. I might as well be dead at this point. "What did you do this time?" I questioned. He stuttered. It was at this point Rantaro walked into the room. I have never, and I mean never, in my life been more relieved to see him. "Rantaro?" I questioned. "What are you doing here?"
I had a bad feeling about this, so I came to check on you two.
He said. He walked over and saw my hair.
Jeez, Kokichi, what did you do?
Kokichi stuttered and stepped back.
Do you mind if I fix this?
Rantaro asked. "Fix what?" I asked. He looked at me as if I were insane. Kokichi won't tell me what he did. With those words spoke, Rantaro seemed to get a better idea of the situation. Rantaro looked over at Kokichi.
So, are you gonna tell us?
I don't want to!
Kokichi yelled.
I don't want Saihara-chan to get mad at me!
"So that's why you wouldn't tell me?" I asked. He nodded. "Look, if you just tell me, I won't get angry," I said.
You promise?
He asked. I nodded. He took a deep breath.
I cut a piece of your hair too short. I tried to fix it. I just ended up making your hair really uneven.
He blurted out.
I didn't know what to do, so I started panicking. I'm sorry!
"So that's it, huh?" I said. I knew I should be angry, but knowing what I did made me feel a little more relieved than angry, because, hey, it could have been much worse.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you never answered my question, Shuichi.
Rantaro said.
Do you mind if I even out your hair?
"Do you know how to cut hair?" I questioned.
I've cut my sister's hair before. I'm no professional, but I have some experience.
He explained. "That's good enough," I said, before mumbling. "At least it's better than Kokichi." Rantaro chuckled, before remembering Kokichi was in the room.
Kokichi, you can leave now.
He said.
But...
Kokichi started, before giving up and leaving the room. I have never felt so relieved. It was later I ran into Kokichi.
Hey, Saihara-chan.
He said with a smile. I, however, wasn't smiling. He noticed.
You're not mad about earlier, are you?
I promised I wouldn't get mad, but after an experience like that, it's hard not to have some hard feelings. No, I'm not, I said. I realized he would know that that was a lie, but for once, he didn't bring it up. He did the opposite, in fact, playing along.
Well, that's good.
He said.
I was worried you'd be mad at me.
He suddenly seemed to have another idea. He stared at my hat.
So, Amami-chan fixed your hair, huh?
I nodded.
Can I see?
I wasn't sure if I wanted him to, but before I got the chance to answer, he took my hat off. I panicked. Hey, give that back!
Nope, not until I see your haircut.
He said, sneaking behind me to look. I wanted to stop him, but I knew it would be no use. He started messing with my hair.
It looks so cute now.
He exclaimed.
Maybe me messing up wasn't such a bad thing after all.
I didn't even know how to respond to that. I present another haircut, a sequel to a very, very bad Danganronpa fanfiction. Oh yeah. I woke up, greeted by the light shining in through the window. I got up, walked to the closet, and grabbed my clothes. It was a usual morning, but I wasn't expecting it to be a usual day. I got dressed, but right before I could put my hat on, I felt my gaze lock on my reflection in the mirror. I stepped closer to investigate before making a keen observation. My hair was starting to get long again. I had known that for a while, but it wasn't until now that I thought I should do something about it. I was thinking I should get a haircut. Problem is, I didn't really want to. I didn't want to go to a salon. I didn't want to take off my hat and talk to a stranger while they cut my hair. I tried to think of an alternative when I had an idea. Last time my hair was cut, it was cut by Kokichi, who was determined after seeing how long my hair was after Miu dared me take off my hat playing Truth or Dare. But that wasn't it. Kokichi messed up, not having experience. He assured me he could fix it, and so I let him. Shortly after, he messed up again. It was at that point that Rantaro walked into the room and offered to fix my hair. He did it surprisingly. Good job. I wonder if I could ask Rantaro. With that thought in my mind, I put on my hat and finished my usual morning routine. After breakfast, I went out to find Rantaro. It didn't take long. Hey, Rantaro.
Oh, hi, Shuichi.
He greeted me. I can only figure he could tell I was about to ask him something.
Did you need something?
Well, actually, there was something I did want to ask you.
Oh?
If it wouldn't be too much trouble, could you, do me a favor?
Sure. What is it?
Could you, I stuttered, feeling my heart race. I shouldn't be so anxious about this, but just because I shouldn't doesn't mean I wasn't. Could you, cut my hair? He seemed surprised. I was worried he would say no, but I tried not to think about that.
Sure, I could, but why are you asking me to?
Well, I stuttered. You did a good job fixing it when Kokichi messed it up, and it's starting to get long again, and I don't want to go to a salon, so I thought I'd ask you.
Ah, I see.
He paused.
Well, do you want me to cut it now or later?
I said. I was so worried about whether he would say no or not, I didn't get the chance to think ahead. Now it's fine. I mean, if it's fine with you.
I wouldn't have offered if it wasn't.
He said with a smile. We headed to a bathroom. In fact, the same bathroom Kokichi and Rantaro had cut my hair in all that time ago. Sat up a chair. I then took off my hat and sat down.
So, how do you want me to cut it?
I paused, trying to think. I didn't really have an exact idea, only a big one. I hoped that'd be enough. I grabbed a piece of my hair, holding it to a certain point. Could you cut it about to there?
Of course.
With that, he started messing with my hair. I was still a bit anxious, but less so than I usually was getting my hair cut. As he started cutting my hair, he started up a conversation.
Hey, Shuichi, I've been wondering something.
Yeah?
Why do you always wear that hat of yours?
He asked, before quickly adding on to it.
If it's personal, you don't have to answer.
I paused for a minute. It was a little personal, but I still felt like Rantaro deserved to know. He had been a good friend to me. It's because of something that happened in the past, I started. Something that ties into my ultimate talent. My uncle runs a detective business. I would sometimes help out as an apprentice. It usually wasn't anything crazy, I started. But one day, I came across a murder case, completely by chance. I solved it before the police did, and that's how I became the ultimate detective, even though I only solved one case. But I don't think it's such a good thing I solved that case. The look on his face when I caught him. I can still see it, even now. He stared at me like he hated me more than anything else in the world. Later, I heard that he murdered the victim to get revenge for his family. The victim was abusive. He drove the culprit's relative to suicide. Many people believed that the culprit was right to do what he did, that the victim deserved it. I let the police right to him. Of course he hated me. I still blame myself for it. I still feel like I did what's wrong. I still see that stare, that hatred. So I have trouble looking people in the eyes sometimes. It was then that Rantaro stopped what he was doing. I'm sorry. I must have been yakking for a while.
Don't apologize,
He said quickly.
and don't feel so bad about what you did. You uncovered the truth of the case, and no matter what people say, you did what a detective should. Even if the victim did do bad things, no one deserves to be killed.
I thought about that, wondering if it was true. Death is all over the media. It's not uncommon to read about an unfortunate death in the news. I wonder if because of this, death doesn't have the impact it might have many years ago. I wonder if when people say things like go die, they don't really mean it. I wonder if people truly understand death and loss, if they understand that when someone dies, they're dead forever. They will never come back. I was so busy wondering, I didn't even notice Rantaro standing in front of me.
Could you close your eyes for a minute so I can cut your bangs?
Yeah, sure. I closed my eyes and he went right to it. For whatever reason, it made me feel more anxious than before. I didn't know why, but I figured I shouldn't overthink it, as it would be over soon enough.
Alright, you can open your eyes now.
I did, but I wasn't expecting what I saw. Rantaro leaned down and was staring at me right in the eyes. My heart was beating so fast I felt like it was about to burst out of my chest.
About what you told me earlier, does looking people in the eyes really bother you that much?
I couldn't even get any words out. All I could do was nod.
I don't see why. Shuichi, what you did wasn't wrong. You caught someone who did something wrong, even if it was in good intention. People who do wrong trick people who do right into thinking they're wrong, so the people who are really wrong can feel better about themselves.
He paused.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does,
I'm glad.
he said, smiling. He got up.
I'm finished, by the way.
Oh? I got up, stretched, and then gazed into the mirror. I looked at my hair. It looked nice, way nicer than before. It was just how I liked it. Thanks, Rantaro, I said, before quickly adding on to it. Not just for cutting my hair, but also for talking with me. He chuckled.
My pleasure.